On today's episode of The Front Row, we are on the campus of Lubbock Christian University in the office of Dr. Laurie Doyle, who is chair of the Visual and Performing Arts here at Lubbock Christian University. Laurie, welcome back to The Front Row. It's great to be with you.
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to get to visit with you.
Well, Dr. Doyle, I love coming over here because that usually means that there's musical theater and a play in the air just about to happen. And so it is. You've started another semester, the fall semester here, and you have a big show coming up. Tell us about it.
We do. We are producing Rodgers and Hammerstein's first collaboration together, and that is the show Oklahoma. And we will perform it here on campus on Saturday and Sunday evenings this weekend, October 11 and 12 at 7:30. And this is such a famous show and a fun show, and we hope people will come and see it.
Okay, it sounds wonderful. A new semester is started, and things are just getting underway. What made you decide that Oklahoma was the show for this fall?
Well, we always choose our fall show in the spring semester so that we can get the leads especially already cast by upperclassmen, and we can send them home with the script and the music so they can learn it over the summer. Because we perform so early, I mean, this is 6 weeks into the fall semester, and that's a quick turnaround for a full musical. Right. So we chose Oklahoma last spring. I knew I had some students who could fill those characters. And as I said, it's such a fun show, and the music is great. And it's a classic, and it hasn't been performed too often in the Lubbock area. So that's why we decided to choose it.
Right. Well, excellent. So you have your singers. Tell us a little bit about the cast.
Got a student who's fairly new to musical theater. His name is Bennett Hawley, and he's playing Curly. And of course, Curly is the cowboy who is in love with Laurie. And Miriam Keller, one of our music majors, is playing Miriam. She has a lovely voice, and so she's doing a beautiful job. Then that's your romantic couple, and then of course you've got to have comedy if it's musical comedy.
Right.
And I have a little theater major named Elena Esteban, who is just delightful as Ado Annie. And then Ado Annie's two suitors, if you will. Matthew Davison is fairly new to theater, but he's doing a great job as Allie Hackham the peddler.
Right.
And then another one of our music majors, Colton Murphy, is playing Will, the cowboy who's also in love with Ado Annie. So we have lots of fun with the three of them, and deciding throughout the show which one she's going to end up with.
Right. And there's a lot of dance involved too, especially with Will, if I remember right. Is that yeah.
Quite a bit?
Yeah.
Quite a bit. We don't have a lot of trained dancers, but we sure have a lot of fun.
Sure, that's right.
And this cast has been so delightful. They are positive, and they are working hard, and they are jumping in and trying everything that I ask them to do, and that just makes it a great show when everybody will really get on board.
Right. I didn't realize that this was the first time that Rodgers and Hammerstein worked together. I didn't realize that.
Yes, it was their first collaboration. Now, they had worked with other people. Of course, Rodgers and Hart had done a lot of shows together, but the producers hired the two of them, and there were times when they weren't really sure if it was going to work or not. And if you look at the history of the show, there were lots of songs that they put in and took out, and characters they put in and took out, and like with any musical, it's a process. Mm-hmm. But nobody was really sure that this show was going to work. It wasn't the play that it was written on, Green Grow the Lilacs, had been moderately successful, but not really a hit. And they take this story of people out in a territory where a state hasn't even been created, and what are their issues? You know, it's the cowmen, the ranchers versus the farmers who are putting up all the fences. You see that conflict. and you see the villain. I've got a great Judd Fry. His name is Josiah Branch, and he's doing a super job with that role of someone who's basically an outcast from society who decides to try to take control with violence instead of becoming more of a member of society. But in the show, you see these characters develop, and this. But as I said, this story, they said, how are you going to make that a musical? We don't think that's going to work. And how are you going to incorporate dance? Of course, Agnes DeMille was the choreographer and put in the wonderful Dream Ballet at the end of Act 1. And that's a very integral part of the musical. But musicals up to that point hadn't really made the story very important. And they hadn't tried to get the characters, the songs didn't come from the development of the character. The songs were separate. And so Oklahoma was very different, and a lot of people just did not think it was going to work. But in 1943, we're still in World War II. And so people coming to the theater are now seeing something that, oh, these people do survive, and they are going to form a state, and they can have a happy ending. And they needed something positive to think about, and they needed songs that were good and singable and positive. And so people flocked to see the show. It ran for over 2,200 performances on Broadway over 5 years. And at that point, that was a real record. We've had lots of records since then, but in the 1940s, that was a big record. Oh. So they found the right elements to put together for that time period in history. And I've tried to impress that on our students, that you've got to think about what the audience was discovering at that time, not just what today's audience is discovering about the show.
Right. So it's the right show at the right time.
Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. Well, you mentioned other aspects of the show, that it is musical theater, musical comedy, and it has dance, ballet, and some things like that. Do you enlist other departments here to help with sets, costumes, and how do you produce a show?
Well, at a small school, all of that is a challenge. I have a really great technical director. He's not employed by LCU except for the shows, but he comes in. We've worked together for many years, and we explore ideas together, and then he builds it. He also will set the lights and run the lights, and then I have an off-campus sound technician who comes in and works with us. Both of them are alums of the school. So many people who graduate from LCU, they love LCU and they like to still be involved. And so that's great because we can use their talents also. I do have a couple of one faculty and one staff member who are in the show. They wanted to participate, and I said, sure, come on, we'll have some fun. And I have a student who's helped with the choreography for the Dream Ballet. And so, yeah, we try to pull in, people from different areas of the school to participate and to also get more interested in what the students are doing.
Sure.
And of course, our students come from all different departments. We've got business majors and DMA majors and some theater and music, but a real variety because auditions are open to everybody on campus.
Great. Well, it sounds wonderful. The show is it's in production week. Tell us about the times and dates for the performances.
So the performances for the public are Saturday and Sunday, the 11th and 12th of October at 7:30 p.m. in McDonald Moody Auditorium. You can go online to lcu.edu/tickets to purchase tickets, or you can purchase them at the door. The prices for tickets, $25 for adults, but only $15 for all seniors and also any students. So we'd really love to have people come see this show. It's such a great show, and we're having a lot of fun with it.
Classic American show. It's Oklahoma, by Rogers and Hammerstein, produced here on the campus of Lubbock Christian University. Laurie Doyle is the director of the show. She's also the chair of Visual and Performing Arts here at LCU. Laurie, thank you so much for being our guest on the front row today.
Thank you. I appreciate it very much.